2 shots of vodka.
It's been one heck of a week, y'all. Anyways, Boogie2988 posted this on his Twitter. I shall now read it to you. According to the internet, I lied about cancer. However, for the last 2 years, I've been treating the symptoms of that cancer. Blood tests, medications, and so much more. We still have one less okay, I'm not reading all of this. Anyways, the gist of this whole thing is that Boogie talked about having cancer on the internet, and when he took part in a shady crypto promotion, he decided to use that as his reason. And after a lot of pressing by a lot of different people, he finally said, okay, so the doctor is treating me for a blood cancer, but we don't know if I actually have it. I mean, how could I not talk about something like that? I'm gonna be real with you all. This is not gonna be a very organized video. This is just gonna be ranting about this guy finally, about this whole situation that transpired. It's gonna be kind of like a walk down memory lane if memory lane was experiencing a golf ball sized hailstorm. Alright, so Boogie got involved with one of those meme cryptos. This one was called Fatty Coin. And I'm just gonna gloss over that because if I talked about it, this video would be way too dang long. Now let's just say this whole project was a little bit suspicious. And then Boogie said, hey, you should invest in it. If you give this coin money, it'll actually come back to me so I can pay for my medical bills, so I can fight my cancer, you know, get a little bit of that sponduli. So shenanigans happen and people start asking, Boogie, do you even have cancer? Now, if this was any other YouTuber, I would say, you know, y'all are probably being a little overly paranoid. But not this time. Boogie is not exactly known for being the most honest person. So Boogie is on a podcast called Locale Live, and a lot of people there were pressing him. But I feel like Destiny did the best job. This man came for blood. He had like papers on his desk. He's like looking at his laptop for notes. This dude looked like he was trying to sentence Jodi Arias to prison again. I'm gonna do my best to sum up his argument. So polycythemia vera is what Boogie claims he has. It's a cancer that causes your red blood cells to be overproduced. However, there is a second version of polycythemia that is not cancerous and is caused by external factors, I don't know, sleep apnea, taking certain hormones like testosterone, and actually Boogie has admitted to having the first one and doing the second one. And another point that Destiny made is that, so Boogie claims that we're going to do a biopsy and run some more tests to make sure it's polycythemia vera. However, he says if they already know Boogie has the cancer, why are they ordering more tests? That just seems like a waste of money that can be used to treat the cancer. So the reigning theory for the longest time was that the doctor told Boogie, hey, you might have cancer. I'm going to start treating you because both the cancerous and non-cancerous version of what you have are treated the same way. However, Boogie jumped the gun, and instead of saying, guys, I might have cancer, he straight up made a video saying he does have cancer. Alright, so Destiny makes a compelling argument, but Boogie's not exactly dead to rights yet. Boogie can still save himself. And people say, alright Boogie, actually all you have to do is show us your medical records, and if polycythemia is there on the portal, that we're wrong. We are sorry if we are wrong. And then Boogie goes, oh man, that's a great idea. Not gonna do it though.
Why is it your medical papers, dude? I'm never showing any of these motherfuckers my medical papers. Go f yourself. I said that 2 years ago, and I'm staying by it now. Destiny, Jackson Clark, Keemstar, you can see it when I fucking die.
So Boogie's argument this whole time for not showing people his medical records is that he wants to keep the one last bit of privacy he has left. Now, if you don't know Boogie, you might not understand why this is a very bad defense for him to make. This man, the Boogster here, there was a documentary released 8 months ago where he himself talked about how he was addicted to prostitutes.
I am a former sex worker escort, and Boogie2988 was one of my clients.
I took women on vacations, and I took them out to fancy dinners, and I took them to like Disneyland and shit.
And sleeping with Boogie is one of the reasons I quit sex work.
Took them on fancy restaurant dates, bought them gift cards, and took them to Disneyland to his own financial detriment. A while back, even longer back, he posted a video talking about how he was staying in a hotel with 2 beds, one for him and one for the hooker, and started thrusting his pelvis into a pillow. He went to one of those places that help you find a job, I forgot what they're called, and told the interviewer that he has rumors online of him beating his wife, is a pedophile, has an aggravated assault felony, and worked in the porn industry. There was a point in that documentary where they play Amazing Grace in the background and Boogie looks at his phone and starts reading off all of the things that is wrong with him, like he's doing roll call for a high school class, which by the way, I don't remember him mentioning polycythemia in that segment, but hey, I'll re-examine it after recording. Like, this dude has never cared about privacy ever, it seems, but then the one thing that could probably exonerate him from being seen as one of the biggest scumbags on the internet right now, he's like, nah, I'm gonna keep that one private. You don't need to know that much about me. And also, I don't remember seeing this in any other channels that I saw talk about it, but in the video, Boogie2988 lied about his cancer featuring Mr. Medicare and Destiny from the official Lolcow Live channel at precisely 30 minutes and 53 seconds in. Boogie straight up says, there are still plenty of things I haven't shared.
Boogie, you shared that you fucked hookers, you've done all this embarrassing stuff. You're lying.
Oh, there's plenty of things I haven't shared. There's plenty of things I haven't shared, but go right ahead. I would rather you motherfuckers continue LARP than to have the last goddamn thing. The last goddamn thing.
You're the one who accused of LARPing.
Security I have in the fucking world.
Oh, there's plenty of things I haven't shared. There's plenty of things I haven't shared, but go right ahead.
Boogie, you can't say both things. You gotta pick one. So yeah, Boogie's really not making himself look good, and it got even worse because it got to the point where people were literally saying, "Hey Boogie, if you release your medical records, not even to the public, just to a trusted third party, I will pay for your cancer treatment. I will donate money to you." It got up to like 80K or something, and Boogie was still saying no. And according to some of the people on the podcast, they're not even asking for a piece of paper that shows them like what hospital he goes to. I think he even said what hospital he goes to already. Or they're not asking for a piece of paper that says that. They're not asking for one that talks about his doctor. It'll just say you have polycythemia vera.
But just showing, I mean, it literally is just a page that says patient diagnoses.
Yep.
And then it lists what you have. It doesn't tell you who the doctor is. It doesn't tell you what hospital you go to. It literally just says the disease name.
Dude, there's even a part in the podcast where Kim is like, you know what? I'm going to pay for some tests so that I can see if you have cancer with my own 2 eyes, with my own doctors. And Boogie still refuses.
I am going to spend a bunch of money and have you test it. And then I'm going to tell the internet what you really have. How about that?
No.
Boogie even said, I don't even care if it's morally right to show my records. I'm not showing them.
I'm not asking you to do it or not do it. I'm asking you a moral question. If you've shared this with your fans, and you've been, and don't you have a moral obligation under these particular circumstances? I don't.
Perhaps, and if I do, I'm going to perhaps, and if I do, then I'm going to ignore that moral obligation here in favor of keeping one last shred of privacy in my life.
Oh, there's plenty of things I haven't shared. There's plenty of things I haven't shared, but go right ahead.
Oh yeah, there's a part where Boogie gets naked, but that's not relevant. Now there might be somebody out there at this point still thinking, all right, maybe Boogie's just being really, really stubborn for whatever reason, and he could be telling the truth. Like, do we know him to lie? Oh yes, we do. I'm about to bust out some evidence. All right, we're gonna go back in time to the crypto scam. So Boogie claims he can't pay people back from the crypto thing he was a part of because he already spent the money for all of his cancer stuff. Now, fortunately for us, CoffeeZilla actually got to look at Boogie's financial records. I don't know why Boogie decided to hand them over, but he did. And he says, the money that Boogie told me he sent to the hospital, it's not accounted for here. It falls way short of what he told me.
Boogie gave us a timeline of when he got paid in the first place. So when were you paid the $5,000?
5 days ago.
Later, I verified with Boogie this payment occurred on June 19th. And when Boogie said all the money was gone on June 26th, that gives us a window of time where he should have receipts for about $5,000 of medical expenses. When he shared what he had, it fell far short of even what I was expecting. He gave me 2 receipts for the time period, one for $154, the other for a copay of $60, a total of $214 by the time we talked. So where did the rest of the money go?
So Coffee says, hey Boogie, you said you spent it already. I'm not looking at that.
The money's already spent. It's at Mercy Hospital right now. It's gone. I used it to pay debts.
And Boogie says, oh no, I did not mean I literally spent it. It is a colloquialism to say I spent the money, when in reality I have not spent the money and I'm just meaning to use it for something else.
Wait, that's on June 28th. That's on June 28th. You showed me a payment for $550 on June 28th, which is after we talked, after you told me the money was all gone.
Yes! Have you never heard of the colloquialism? Yeah, that money's all gone, it's all spent. I have a specific thing I need to do with it. Have you never heard that colloquialism? Use fucking Google then!
Yeah, Boogie, I used Google. I could not find that. In a situation like yours, people would say, consider it spent. They wouldn't just say, yeah, it's at the place I needed to spend it right now. And then Coffee just keeps telling him. Coffee has like the tone of voice of like a disappointed dad. He's like, Boogie, you need to pay that money back. And Boogie says, no, I can't, because then I won't have mortgage.
Boogie, You need to pay that $5,000 back. You need to find a way to refund people. It's not spent. You have $5,000.
Hold on, my dude. Did you not say it was for cancer earlier? And also, doesn't Keem pay for your house?
The reason we were told the money was at Mercy Hospital right now, that was initially, now it's because he's got a mortgage. But also, Boogie had showed me his income for the last month, and it looked to me like the podcast is what paid for his mortgage. And so I asked, wouldn't that money pay for your mortgage?
Oh, hold on, my bad. Boogie actually has a valid reason. It's because apparently somebody, I think it was Keemstar, he said, was hoarding the money and he wasn't getting paid that month. Yeah, you know how Boogie's freaking out about that? The payment was late by 1 day. One singular day. This guy is such a freaking weasel, man. And Keem, even in a podcast later, Keem is like, hey, Boogie, I know you lied to CoffeeZilla telling him I don't pay you. And Boogie tells him, no, Keem, I was edited out of context. He's trying to make me look bad. And then CoffeeZilla, because of course he does, he pulls up the actual clip that where Boogie says, yeah, I don't get paid for the podcast.
You told him that you weren't getting paid from this show. He played the fucking recording because he recorded you.
Then why? Then I understand that. Do you think people can edit things to be a little bit out of context?
Well, if he wants to play that game, here's the clip where Boogie directly says it. He says he's not getting paid. Boogie, you could have gotten through this month without the crypto scam, is what I'm saying.
And I could have not paid my friend back for covering my medical bill.
No.
And I couldn't. No, listen.
Well, I've seen your bank statement, so I know.
Because you're ignoring
I know
the
what's going
fact
to
that
happen.
I need to pay
Yes,
mortgage
your
on
mortgage,
Monday.
right, which should have come from the
There's no more
podcast.
money coming in. There's no more money coming in between now and then.
Which should
You
have come,
understand that?
but it should have come from the podcast. It's not.
Right, because I'm not getting paid this month because I have to travel to do an on-location shoot.
Boogie, you're trying to lie about a guy whose job it is to bust scammers. Like, of course the dude is going to keep track of what you say. And this isn't even the first time Boogie has tried to lie about not getting paid by Keemstar. Remember that one fight that he had with Wings of Redemption? Pretty sure Keemstar was the one that organized it. And Boogie's like, yeah, I lost money on that fight because I had to pay for my own hotel. I had to pay for my own flight. And then Wings of Redemption says, Boogie, they paid for all of my stuff. What happened to you? Now, is Keemstar the most trustworthy person? Of course not. But with everything I've shown you, I hope you understand why I'm more willing to believe Keem over Boogie. Like, if Keem is at, like, level 0 of integrity, Boogie's chilling underground with the lizard people. Boo. Phone microphone jump scare. I completely forgot about this somehow when recording. But apparently there is another completely different reason Boogie did the crypto thing. He actually went into that Medicare guy's stream and was like, oh no, actually I did this so I could raise money to get on Ozempic. Boogie, can I just say this guy already did weight loss surgery prior and it messed up? I think he even got heavier. Like, what makes you think Ozempic's gonna work out this time? Anyways, more shenanigans happen. Everybody starts talking about this. This man is getting grilled by the internet. And then Boogie's brother comes in. He's like, no, I saw the papers, y'all. I know he has the cancer. And then he's like, I stake my reputation as a medical professional on it. But, okay, I don't know how true this is. It's really funny if it is true. So Boogie claims he's a practicing epidemiologist, but then people did some digging and they find he's not like an MD at all. He's not a doctor of medicine. He has a doctorate degree in the study of health inequality or something. Dude, that's straight up like the meme of like the one person in the middle of the road like dying, and then the text is like, do you have a doctor here? Yes, I am. What's your specialty? I'm a doctor in mathematics. My friend is dying. -1. Alright, I need to wrap this up. Anyways, another episode of Lolcow Live took place where Boogie opens his portal, which is basically where you go to check all your medical conditions and diagnoses and stuff. And he straight up says, polycythemia vera is not on there.
It's fine, Boogie. Just admit it's not on the portal.
It's not on there. I told you this. I have to do the verifying test.
And then after that episode, we get the Twitter post that I read at the beginning of this vid, basically confirming the theory that everybody thought he just jumped the gun, and his cancer diagnosis is still not yet confirmed.
He dicho, caso cerrado.
Can I just say, how did Boogie get the worst possible ending of all of this? Because he might actually still have cancer, but everybody's on the internet is upset because he claimed he had cancer before he knew. And I feel like that's a pretty legit reason to be mad at somebody, you know? especially once he starts getting pressed on it and then he's saying, no, I 100% have it, as he stares at his portal knowing it's not on there. Not to mention, a lot of the people on that podcast that were pressing him, a lot of those people have dealt with cancer in their life. Destiny's mom had cancer, Wing's wife has cancer, that one Medicare guy that was on the podcast, he has cancer. Heck, even I, a couple videos ago, talked about how one of my relatives is a colon cancer survivor. Like, of all the things you could possibly lie about, you picked possibly the worst one. And yes, I am saying lied, because even if it was an accident when he made that video those 2 years ago, he still knew. He was still lying, staring at the portal saying, hey, polycythemia vera not confirmed. He was looking at it in his eyes, the things that he uses to see, and said, yeah, it's on there when it wasn't. This really makes you wonder if he's willing to lie about something as like this. What else has he lied about? Anyways, that's where we're at today, y'all. Take care. Shout out to Jackson Clark.